10 Celebrities LGBTQ plus stars of Golden Age. What if I told you that some of the most celebrated black entertainers in history were also the boldest voices for LGBTQ plus visibility, defying an industry that demanded silence? From Emmy winners to chart-topping musicians, these trailblazers risked careers, reputations, and even safety to live authentically. Their courage not only shattered stereotypes, but also redefined what it means to be a star in Hollywood's so-called Golden Age. Today, their stories continue to inspire millions. Are you ready to uncover the icons who changed everything? Hit subscribe, like, and share to support legends of Black excellence. Billy Porter. Billy Porter's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. Born on September 21, 1969 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he grew up in a deeply religious household that made his identity as a gay black man incredibly difficult to navigate. Yet, from an early age, Porter displayed a rare gift for performance. After attending the Pittsburgh Creative and Performing Arts School, he later studied drama at Carnegie Mellon University and honed his craft at UCLA. These formative years gave him the foundation to rise in theater, music, television, and eventually become one of the most celebrated LGBTQ+ voices of the 21st century. Porter's first big break came on Broadway with Miss Saigon in 1991, but it was his 1994 role as the flamboyant drag character Teen Angel in the revival of Grease that established him as a show-stopping talent. In the late 1990s, he battled professional rejection, often being told he was too flamboyant or too gay for leading roles. Instead of retreating, Porter leaned into his uniqueness, choosing authenticity over conformity. This resilience paid off when he landed the lead in Kinky Boots in 2013. His performance as Lola, a drag queen with heart and courage, won him the Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical and solidified his place on Broadway. His true breakthrough to mainstream audiences came with FX's groundbreaking series Pose 2018 to 2021. As Pray Tell the outspoken MC of the ballroom scene, Porter delivered a performance so raw and powerful that he won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series in 2019. This achievement made him the first openly gay black man to win in that category, a historic milestone that highlighted both his artistry and cultural significance. Do you think Porter's greatest impact comes from his acting, his activism, or his bold fashion statements? Beyond the stage and screen, Porter is known for his daring red carpet looks, which challenged traditional gender norms in fashion. His tuxedo gown at the 2019 Academy Awards became one of the most iconic fashion moments of the decade, sparking global conversations about masculinity, self-expression, and identity. In interviews, Porter has often explained that his clothing is not just about style, but about visibility, an act of protest against rigid gender binaries. Off-stage, Porter has also been candid about personal struggles. In 2021, he revealed that he had been living with HIV for over a decade, a disclosure that shattered stigma and offered hope to countless others. By sharing his truth, he reframed his narrative from one of secrecy to one of resilience and empowerment. Today, Billy Porter stands as a multifaceted figure, an actor, singer, director, fashion icon, and activist. He has earned an Emmy, a Grammy, and a Tony Award, making him only an Oscar short of the coveted EGOT status. His voice in the fight for LGBTQ+ equality, racial justice, and gender freedom continues to resonate across generations. More than just a celebrity, Billy Porter represents the courage to live authentically in a world that often punishes difference. His story is a reminder that true greatness begins when one dares to be unapologetically oneself. Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox's rise to prominence marks one of the most important cultural shifts in entertainment history. Born on May 29, 1972 in Mobile, Alabama, Cox grew up in the American South where gender roles were strictly policed and difference was often punished. From a young age, she found herself drawn to the arts, studying ballet and theater before attending Marymount Manhattan College in New York City. It was here that she embraced her identity and began building the career that would one day inspire millions. Her breakthrough came in 2013 with Netflix's Orange is the New Black. Cast as Sophia Bursay, a transgender woman incarcerated in a women's prison, Cox brought nuanced dignity and humanity to a role rarely seen on mainstream television. The performance resonated widely, earning her a Primetime Emmy nomination, making her the first openly transgender person nominated in an acting category. This recognition was more than personal success. It represented a seismic moment for trans representation, especially for Black transgender women, who had long been excluded from the spotlight. Laverne's visibility extended far beyond Hollywood. In 2014, she became the first openly transgender person to appear on the cover of Time magazine under the headline, "The Transgender Tipping Point." This was a cultural landmark as it signaled a broader public acknowledgement of trans rights and visibility. Cox used the moment not for self-promotion, but to highlight systemic issues like violence against transgender women of color, workplace discrimination, and healthcare inequality. Do you think Laverne's greater impact comes from her acting or from her activism off-screen? In addition to her acting, Cox has been an outspoken advocate for legislative change. She has testified in front of political leaders, appeared in documentaries such as Disclosure 2020, and worked with organizations that push for equality. Through her platform, she has consistently raised awareness about the disproportionate violence faced by transgender people, especially trans women of color. Cox's influence also extends into the fashion and beauty industries. She became the first transgender woman nominated for a Daytime Emmy as a producer, the first openly trans person to cover Cosmopolitan in South Africa, and she has worked with major fashion houses challenging notions of gendered beauty standards. Her presence on red carpets around the world sends a message: trans women can be glamorous, powerful, and unapologetically themselves. In her personal journey, Cox has spoken candidly about bullying, rejection, and even surviving a suicide attempt in her youth. By sharing these painful experiences, she connects deeply with those who still feel marginalized, proving that resilience can lead to transformation. Her courage has made her not just a star, but a lifeline for many struggling with acceptance. Today, Laverne Cox is recognized as a trailblazer in entertainment and activism. With her combination of talent, intelligence, and bravery, she continues to break barriers and rewrite history. She represents the possibility of a world where authenticity is not punished, but celebrated, a true icon of the golden age of LGBTQ+ representation. Lil Nas X. Montero Lamar Hill, known globally as Lil Nas X, represents one of the most dramatic cultural shifts in music this century. Born on April 9, 1999 in Lithia Springs, Georgia, he rose from humble beginnings to international fame almost overnight. His breakout hit Old Town Road, released independently in December 2018, went viral on TikTok before topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 19 consecutive weeks in 2019, a record-breaking run that made history. What began as a catchy country rap crossover soon became a cultural juggernaut. At the peak of his success, Lil Nas X made a life-changing decision in June 2019. He publicly came out as gay. This moment was seismic for both the hip-hop and country music industry's genres, historically dominated by hypermasculine, often homophobic narratives. Instead of shrinking from the spotlight, he leaned into it, transforming himself into a bold, unapologetic queer icon. His visibility challenged decades of silence, making him one of the most influential young Black LGBTQ+ artists of all time. Do you think Lil Nas X's courage to come out at the height of his fame inspired more change than even his record-breaking music? Lil Nas X has since used music videos as powerful statements of identity and resistance. From the controversial Montero, Call Me By Your Name, which featured religious symbolism, and queer desire, to the playful Industry Baby, he has consistently turned pop culture into a battlefield for self-expression. Critics accused him of provocation, but supporters saw liberation. He blurred the line between art and activism, insisting that queer youth deserve representation in mainstream media. Beyond music, his fashion choices, sequined cowboy outfits, flamboyant gowns, and futuristic streetwear cement his status as a style trailblazer. Each public appearance becomes a statement that masculinity, sexuality, and creativity cannot be boxed in. In 2021, Montero the album debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, earning Grammy nominations and critical acclaim for its raw honesty about love rejection and self-acceptance. Still in his 20s, Lil Nas X has already left a cultural footprint far beyond his years. He represents a generation unafraid to embrace their truth using humor, vulnerability, and spectacle to dismantle stigma. His rise from a teenager living with his mother in Atlanta to a Grammy-winning superstar proves that authenticity and artistry, when fused, can change the world. Wanda Sykes. Few comedians have balanced humor and activism as seamlessly as Wanda Sykes. Born on March 7, 1964 in Portsmouth, Virginia, and raised in Maryland, she graduated from Hampton University with a degree in marketing before working for the National Security Agency. But the office life wasn't for her. She had a gift for making people laugh, and by the late 1980s, she was pursuing stand-up comedy in Washington, D.C. Her sharp wit and fearless observations earned her spots on HBO's Def Comedy Jam and writing jobs for The Chris Rock Show. By the late 1990s, she was one of the most sought-after comedic voices in America, eventually winning a Primetime Emmy Award in 1999 for her work with Rock. Her on-screen presence blossomed as well, with standout roles in Curb Your Enthusiasm, Evan Almighty, and Blackish, where her timing and honesty resonated with millions. Though widely respected in comedy, it was her personal life that brought her even more visibility. In 2008, Sykes came out publicly as a lesbian during a rally in Las Vegas, opposing California's Proposition 8, which aimed to ban same-sex marriage. Her announcement was spontaneous but powerful, sending shockwaves through both the entertainment industry and the LGBTQ+ community. It was a bold move given that she had been relatively private about her relationships before then. Do you think Wanda Sykes' decision to come out during a political rally made her message even stronger than if she had chosen Hollywood's red carpet instead? Since then, Sykes has used her platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, marriage equality, and racial justice, all while keeping audiences laughing. She married her wife, Alex Niedbalski, in 2008, and the couple are parents to fraternal twins. Their family life has become part of her comedic storytelling, offering audiences both laughter and authenticity. Sykes' activism is woven into her work. Through her comedy specials, she doesn't shy away from tackling issues like homophobia, racism, and politics. By delivering these topics with humor, she reaches audiences who might otherwise resist such conversations. In 2019, she released the Netflix special Not Normal, which received critical praise for blending political critique with personal anecdotes. Today, Wanda Sykes remains a vital figure in entertainment. Her unique ability to disarm audiences with humor while addressing injustice has cemented her as both a comedic legend and an activist trailblazer. She stands as proof that laughter can be a weapon for change, and that authenticity on stage can inspire transformation off it. Michael Sam. Michael Sam's story is one of both triumph and challenge, marking a milestone in the history of professional sports. Born on January 7, 1990 in Galveston, Texas, Sam was the seventh of 8 children in a family marked by hardship. Despite personal struggles, including the loss of siblings and a difficult home life, he found solace in football. His drive and discipline carried him to the University of Missouri, where he quickly became a standout defensive end. By his senior year in 2013, Sam's talent could no longer be ignored. He was named the Southeastern Conference SEC Co-Defensive Player of the Year, one of the highest honors in college football. This recognition put him firmly on the radar of NFL scouts. But in February 2014, just months before the NFL draft, Sam made a courageous announcement he was gay. With that declaration, he became the first openly gay NFL draft prospect, igniting conversations about masculinity, sexuality, and acceptance in professional sports. Do you believe Michael Sam's announcement changed the way major sports leagues approach LGBTQ plus athletes today? The moment was historic, but it also came with immense scrutiny. While drafted by the St. Louis Rams in the 7th round, Sam never played in a regular season NFL game. He later joined the Dallas Cowboys practice squad, but was released before seeing official play. Many critics questioned whether homophobia influenced his short career, while others pointed to the overwhelming media attention as an added obstacle. Regardless, Sam's visibility broke ground in an arena often hostile to difference. After his NFL chapter ended, Sam turned to the Canadian Football League and later became a motivational speaker, using his story to encourage authenticity in the face of adversity. In 2022, he shifted into coaching with the European League of Football, continuing to impact the game from the sidelines. His resilience and openness remind us that sometimes legacy isn't built in championships or records, but in paving the way for those who come after. Michael Sam's journey illustrates both the progress made and the challenges that remain for LGBTQ+ athletes. Though his professional career was short, his courage to live authentically under the brightest spotlight continues to inspire players and fans across the world. He may not have lifted a Super Bowl trophy, but in terms of representation, Michael Sam will always be remembered as a trailblazer. Andre Leon Talley. Andre Leon Talley was larger than life, literally and figuratively. Born on October 16, 1948 in Washington, D.C., and raised in Durham, North Carolina. Talley was introduced to elegance through the church, where his grandmother instilled in him an appreciation for beauty, dignity, and presentation. He would carry those lessons into the fashion world, where he became one of the most influential editors, stylists, and cultural commentators of the late 20th and early 21st centuries. After earning a master's degree in French studies at Brown University, Talley began his career at Interview magazine under Andy Warhol. He quickly moved through the fashion world's ranks, writing for Women's Wear Daily and the New York Times, before eventually joining Vogue. By the 1980s, Talley had become Vogue's creative director and later editor-at-large positions that allowed him to shape the look of an era. What set him apart was not just his eye for style, but his unapologetic individuality. Standing at over 6 feet tall and often dressed in flowing caftans or dramatic capes, Talley challenged fashion's rigid codes. As a black gay man in an overwhelmingly white exclusive industry, he used his influence to open doors for designers and models of color, pushing for a more inclusive vision of beauty. Do you think Andre Leon Talley's bold presence was as revolutionary as his editorial influence behind the scenes? His 2018 memoir, The Gospel According to Andre, revealed the struggles behind the glamour stories of racism, homophobia, and the loneliness of blazing trails in a world that wasn't always welcoming. Despite these hardships, Talley's brilliance never dimmed. He was not just an editor, but also a mentor, helping launch the careers of countless designers and advocating for representation long before diversity was a buzzword. Talley's impact extended beyond magazines. He became a recognizable TV personality, appearing as a judge on America's Next Top Model and a commentator at red carpet events. His booming voice, wit, and encyclopedic knowledge of fashion made him unforgettable. When he passed away in January 2022 at age 73, the fashion world mourned the loss of a giant whose presence had transformed the industry. Today, Andre Leon Talley is remembered not only for his taste and authority in fashion, but also for his courage in occupying space as his authentic self. He embodied the idea that true style is about more than clothing. It's about vision, identity, and the power to inspire change. Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean is proof that vulnerability can change an entire industry. Born Christopher Edwin Breaux on October 28, 1987 in Long Beach, California, and raised in New Orleans, Ocean, grew up surrounded by jazz, gospel, and hip-hop influences. After Hurricane Katrina devastated his hometown in 2005, he relocated to Los Angeles to pursue music, initially writing songs for stars like Justin Bieber, John Legend, and Beyoncé. Yet his own artistry was too powerful to remain behind the scenes. Ocean joined the hip-hop collective Odd Future in 2010, a move that gave him space to experiment creatively. His mixtape Nostalgia Ultra 2011 was a breakout success, leading to a deal with Def Jam and recognition for his poetic lyrics and experimental sound. But it was his next step that shook the world. In July 2012, on the eve of his debut album Channel Orange Ocean, published a heartfelt open letter on Tumblr, revealing that his first love had been a man. In an R&B and hip-hop landscape that often glorified heteronormativity, this was seismic. He became one of the first mainstream black male artists in his genre to speak openly about same-sex love. Do you think Frank Ocean's quiet honesty did more to change R&B than a loud headline-grabbing statement ever could? Channel Orange debuted to critical acclaim, winning a Grammy for Best Urban Contemporary Album in 2013. Songs like Thinkin' About You and Bad Religion became anthems for a generation that craved authenticity. 4 years later, his long-awaited follow-up Blonde 2016 debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, cementing him as one of the most innovative musicians of his era. Its fusion of R&B, soul, and avant-garde pop challenged genre boundaries while continuing to explore themes of love, identity, and longing. Despite his fame, Ocean has remained elusive, shunning traditional celebrity culture. Rare interviews and minimal public appearances only heightened his mystique. Yet his influence is undeniable. Artists from Tyler, the Creator, to Beyoncé have praised him, and younger queer musicians cite him as a pathbreaker. Frank Ocean's bravery lies not only in his artistry but also in his refusal to let the industry define him. By prioritizing honesty over convention, he transformed R&B into a space where queerness could exist openly. His legacy continues to inspire both fans and artists, reminding the world that sometimes the quietest voices carry the most enduring power. Don Lemon. Don Lemon's career represents a turning point in American broadcast journalism where identity and integrity intersected with national conversation. Born on March 1, 1966 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Lemon grew up during the final years of segregation. His early exposure to racial inequality shaped his outlook, driving him toward journalism as a platform for truth and justice. After graduating from Brooklyn College, he worked at local stations before joining NBC News and later CNN in 2006. Known for his sharp analysis and ability to ask difficult questions, Lemon rose through the ranks to become one of the network's most recognizable anchors. But his most courageous moment came in 2011, when he publicly came out as gay in his memoir Transparent. While his orientation had been known privately, declaring it on a national stage made him one of the few openly gay black men in mainstream American media at the time. Do you think Don Lemon's decision to come out while holding such a visible platform inspired more journalists of color to embrace authenticity? Lemon's visibility carried weight. His honesty encouraged conversations about intersectionality, the overlapping challenges faced by those who are both black and LGBTQ+. Throughout his career, he has used his platform to highlight issues like police brutality, systemic racism, and LGBTQ+ rights. During the Black Lives Matter protests, Lemon became a key voice in connecting struggles for racial justice with broader human rights. Over the years, Lemon received multiple accolades, including an Edward R. Murrow Award in 2002 for coverage of the DC sniper attacks. His style has been both praised for its directness and criticized for its bluntness, but it undeniably made him one of the most influential news figures of his era. In 2023, Lemon parted ways with CNN after 17 years, sparking widespread debate about the future of broadcast journalism and representation. Yet his impact is secure. He opened doors for countless others who once felt invisible in media. Don Lemon's career is a testament to the power of truth-telling. By embracing his full identity, he not only reported the news, but became part of the cultural shift toward visibility and acceptance. He stands as a reminder that courage in journalism isn't just about the questions you ask, it's also about the truths you live. MJ Rodriguez. Michaela Antonia J. Rodriguez. Professionally known as MJ Rodriguez, has become one of the most important voices of trans representation in modern entertainment. Born on January 7, 1991 in Newark, New Jersey, Rodriguez displayed a love for the arts from childhood. Encouraged by her mother, she studied at the Berklee College of Music before stepping into theater where her talent began to shine. Her career started on stage most notably when she played Angel in an off-Broadway production of Rent. But her true breakthrough came in 2018 when she was cast as Blanca Evangelista in FX's groundbreaking series Pose. Set in New York's 1980s ballroom scene, Pose brought transgender and queer stories into the mainstream with unprecedented depth. As Blanca Rodriguez portrayed a nurturing house mother who built a chosen family amidst an era marked by the HIV/AIDS crisis and systemic discrimination. The role was transformative, not only for Rodriguez's career, but for television history. In 2021, she became the first transgender woman to win a Golden Globe Award, earning Best Actress in a Drama for Pose. This milestone placed her in the record books and sent a message worldwide: trans women of color could no longer be sidelined. Do you believe MJ Rodriguez's Golden Globe win was a turning point for Hollywood's commitment to true inclusivity? Rodriguez's artistry is matched by her activism. She has spoken passionately about the importance of representation, reminding audiences that trans lives are not defined solely by struggle, but also by joy, resilience, and triumph. Beyond Pose, she has appeared in projects like Tick Tick, Boom 2021 alongside Andrew Garfield, and has pursued music, releasing singles such as Something to Say, blending her Broadway roots with pop sensibility. Her visibility has extended into fashion as well. In 2021, she became the first trans woman nominated for an Emmy in a major acting category, gracing red carpets in designs that merged elegance with quiet defiance of traditional beauty standards. Each public appearance serves as both celebration and activism, embodying dignity for communities too often denied it. Today, MJ Rodriguez continues to expand her influence, bridging the worlds of acting, music, and advocacy. Her career represents more than entertainment. It signals a cultural shift. For a generation of trans youth, particularly those of color, she stands as living proof that visibility, artistry, and excellence are not only possible, they are powerful. RuPaul. No conversation about LGBTQ+ icons is complete without RuPaul Charles, the world's most famous drag queen. Born on November 17, 1960 in San Diego, California, and raised in Atlanta, RuPaul faced rejection and hardship early in life. But by the 1980s, he was making his name in New York City's underground club scene with outrageous looks, music, and an unshakable sense of confidence. His first breakthrough into mainstream culture came with the 1992 hit single Supermodel You Better Work, which became an anthem of empowerment. With his charisma and wit, RuPaul transcended drag's underground status, landing talk shows, endorsements, and even acting roles. But his most enduring contribution arrived in 2009 with RuPaul's Drag Race. What began as a modest reality competition became a cultural revolution. Over the years, Drag Race has expanded internationally, won more than 27 Primetime Emmy Awards, and launched the careers of countless drag performers. RuPaul himself has won multiple Emmys for hosting, making him the most awarded Black artist in Emmy history. Do you think RuPaul's greatest achievement is popularizing drag for the masses, or creating opportunities for new generations of queer performers? Beyond the glamour, RuPaul has emphasized authenticity. His mantra, "If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else?" has become a rallying cry for self-acceptance. Through the show, he introduced audiences to the artistry, comedy, and resilience of drag queens, many of whom faced discrimination in their personal lives. RuPaul has also remained prolific outside of television. He's released more than a dozen studio albums, authored books like Letting It All Hang Out, and appeared in films such as But I'm a Cheerleader. Each project reflects his ability to blend camp humor and wisdom while pushing queer culture further into the mainstream. Despite criticism, some have questioned his strict views on what qualifies as drag. His legacy is undeniable. RuPaul turned drag into a global industry, one that celebrates diversity, creativity, and resilience. From his early days hustling in nightclubs to becoming a household name, RuPaul proved that authenticity, when paired with vision, can reshape culture. Today, RuPaul isn't just a performer, he's an institution. His career embodies the golden age of LGBTQ+ representation, where what was once marginalized has become celebrated worldwide. Through drag, he showed the world that self-expression is not just performance, it's survival and it's joy. These 10 extraordinary stars, Billy Porter, Laverne Cox, Lil Nas X, Wanda Sykes, Michael, Sam Andre, Leon Talley, Frank Ocean, Don Lemon, Michaela J. Rodriguez, and RuPaul, proved that authenticity can rewrite history. Each of them risked rejection, but instead became symbols of courage, pride, and transformation. Their stories remind us that the golden age of LGBTQ+ representation is not just about fame, but about breaking barriers for future generations. Which of these icons do you believe made the most powerful impact through art activism or visibility? Share your thoughts below, and let's keep the conversation alive on Legends of Black Excellence.